Some stories sound impossible, but they are written in history. Inspired by true events, history remembers many tragedies, but only a few stories of survival. August 6, 1945. In the quiet city of Hiroshima, the morning began like any other. Thousands of people started their day, unaware that history was about to change forever. The sun cast long shadows as the city stirred, a gentle hum of activity filling the air. It was a city at peace, nestled in the routine of daily life, oblivious to the storm gathering on the horizon. Shopkeepers arranged their displays. Fishermen returned with the morning's catch, and the first trams of the day rumbled along their tracks. Every action was a thread in the intricate tapestry of a normal day. He was an ordinary man caught in the gears of an extraordinary moment, his personal timeline about to intersect with the world's. His journey was a simple one, yet it would lead him through the crucible of history. His mind was on his family, his home, and the familiar comforts that awaited him. The war felt distant, a rumble on the edge of hearing, not a cataclysm poised to engulf his world. A forgotten document, a misplaced seal, a trivial oversight that would anchor him to Hiroshima for a few crucial hours more. It was a small human error, yet it would have monumental consequences. He retraced his steps, a flicker of annoyance giving way to a sense of unease. The city seemed to hold its breath, a strange stillness settling over the bustling streets. High above, the Enola Gay, a silver speck against the vast blue, flew on its fateful mission. Its crew, focused and determined, were about to unleash a power that would redefine the very concept of destruction. The bomb bay doors opened, a mechanical maw revealing the dark shape of Little Boy. The world held its breath, unaware that it was about to be plunged into the atomic age. A flash of light brighter than 1,000 suns erased the sky. It was a silent, searing brilliance that bleached the world of color, a prelude to the storm that was to follow. Then came the sound, a deafening roar that tore through the city, shattering glass, splintering wood, and ripping buildings from their foundations. The air itself seemed to scream. A mushroom cloud, terrible and majestic, rose into the sky, a monument to the destructive power of humanity. It was a sight that would be seared into the collective memory of the world. The city, once a vibrant hub of life, was now a smoldering ruin. The fires raged, consuming what was left of the city, a funeral pyre for a lost world. He was thrown through the air, his body battered and broken. He lay amidst the rubble, the world a blur of pain and confusion. But he was alive, a flicker of life in a city of death. He slowly, painfully, picked himself up, his mind struggling to comprehend the devastation around him. The world he knew was gone, replaced by a nightmare landscape of fire and ruin. He joined the stream of survivors, a ghostly procession of the wounded and the dazed. They moved through the ruins of their city, their faces etched with a grief too deep for tears. The river, once a source of life, was now a river of death, its waters choked with the bodies of the dead. The air was thick with the smell of burning, a scent that would haunt him for the rest of his life. The train, a fragile vessel of hope, carried him away from the inferno. He was leaving behind a city of ghosts, a place where the past had been erased in a single blinding flash. The journey was a blur of pain and exhaustion. He drifted in and out of consciousness, his mind a maelstrom of horrific images. But he held on, driven by the primal urge to survive, to return home. Nagasaki, a city nestled between rolling hills, was a haven of peace and tranquility. Its streets were filled with the familiar sights and sounds of home, a stark contrast to the hell he had just escaped. He was home, but he was a stranger in his own land. He had seen things that no one should ever have to see, things that would forever set him apart from those who had not been there. He spoke of a city that had vanished, of a sky that had burned, of a world that had ended. His words were a desperate attempt to bridge the chasm between his experience and their understanding. They listened, their faces a mixture of pity and disbelief. They could not comprehend the scale of the destruction, the sheer, unadulterated horror of what he had witnessed. His story was too fantastic, too terrible to be true. The second bomber, Boxcar, flew over Nagasaki, its mission to deliver the final devastating blow. The city, unaware of its impending doom, went about its day, a mirror image of Hiroshima just 3 days before. The bomb, Fat Man, was released, a harbinger of death falling from a clear blue sky. It was a moment of terrible symmetry, a cruel echo of the tragedy that had just unfolded. The second flash, the second roar, the second wave of destruction. It was a horrifying repetition, a nightmare recurring in the cold light of day. The city of Nagasaki was engulfed in a firestorm, its fate sealed in a single, terrible moment. The hills that had once protected the city now channeled the blast, amplifying its destructive power. The city was torn apart, its buildings reduced to rubble, its people incinerated in an instant. He was in his office, reporting to his superiors, when the second bomb fell. The building collapsed around him, plunging him into darkness. He was buried alive, a prisoner in a tomb of his own making. He clawed his way out of the rubble, his body a canvas of fresh wounds. He had survived the unthinkable, not once, but twice. He was a man marked by fate, a living testament to the capricious nature of life and death. He lived a long life, a quiet life, a life forever changed by the events of those 2 fateful days. He became a symbol of resilience, a voice for peace, a reminder of the human cost of war. His story, once dismissed as a fantastic tale, became a part of history, a chilling account of the horrors of nuclear warfare. He was the man who had looked into the heart of the sun and lived to tell the tale. Among them was a young engineer named Tsutomu Yamaguchi. He had been working in the city for several months, and today he was preparing to return home. But one small mistake would change everything. At that very moment, high above the city, something was approaching. A lone bomber moved silently through the sky, and then a single object began falling toward Hiroshima. In a single blinding moment, the world exploded. The first atomic bomb ever used in war had just been dropped. In seconds, an entire city was devastated. And then, silence. Against impossible odds, Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived. A city that once held hundreds of thousands of people had become a wasteland. Those who could still walk began searching for a way out. Despite his injuries, Yamaguchi boarded the train. He was determined to return home. His home was the city of Nagasaki. In Nagasaki, life continued as if nothing had happened. He tried to describe the unimaginable destruction he had witnessed, but few could truly understand what he had seen. 3 days later, history was about to repeat itself. Another bomb began its descent. And once again, the sky exploded with light. The second atomic bomb had been dropped. In moments, another city was destroyed. 2 cities, 2 bombs, and somehow, one man survived both. Tsutomu Yamaguchi would later become the only officially recognized survivor of both atomic bombings. Some stories sound impossible, until history proves they are true. Like and subscribe for more story.